Now I want to take you straight to the carnival, where the latest millionaire is about to be unveiled. Let's listen into what's happening. Nobody really knows who he is. We just know that he's won 221 million after putting in a bet worth only 200 shillings. See your life.
So pick up place ya kwanza naona ndio nikaenda pili tena ndio. So sato zote zilikuwa ndani, but modesta wangu yule alikuwa anasema Sunday is backfire.
Sunday is backfire.
So on Sunday nenda kutembelea modesta wangu kwa West anaitwa Bena. So tukaanza kuona live scope. Hatuna discovery kwa hao, so kuna live scope kama.
Yes.
So ikafika game ya Bodo na Njoma. Ilienda draw. Sasa hapo ndio ilianza kuwa a little bit crazy.
And police say that was 100 million last September. Over that one.
And jackpot tumebet mara nne.
Have you won anything before?
Only 4 days, but the other jackpot only bet. But the jackpot only 4 days.
But you've won something before?
Before nimeshinda multi. Kwa December nimeshinda 30k.
Sasa una 21. Have you absorbed this information? Do you know how many bankers are going to become your friends? Hello, Mr. Samuel. Hope you had a wonderful day. We've got a loan facility. You'll enjoy it. So, this is the man of the day. Beginning of the campaign, besides Luis Sassari, Karoli, Cinquelli. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the man of the day. 221,301,602 shillings. He says he's come from a background where they struggled and struggled and struggled, and he made it through like finally he's got all the money possible in life. What is the first thing you're going to do in the weekend? Uingie kwa bank uangalie account, mamegando, uangalie tena.
Nataka nene mali mtulie kwanza ni load, kaya pesa ni real ni yangu kwanza.
You still don't believe the money is in. What am I pick a picha hivi vyote na bado nashuku. Congratulations, man. You're also my new best friend. So, thank you. Thank you very much. A round of applause for the gentleman. With those few remarks, I think we'll get the check presentation. Where are the checks?
Recording wapi? Kitu nimerecord.
Ahmed Ali. And to present the check will be Mr. Ronald Karori and Ms. Georgina. Miss Georgina, kindly remain on stage as we give out the second check. Samuel.
Well, that is the latest millionaire in town. There are several checks being issued. The one that has just been issued right now is by Ahmed Ali, 141 million. But the grand one of them is won by Samuel Abisai, 221 million. I think even he's still trying to get his head around that amount of money, because he says that he's still not sure what he wants to do with it. He'll just take some time off, go and relax, think about it. Now, here's how much of that money it is. You see, 221 million Sport Pesa mega jackpot. That's an amount that can finance the construction of the Kenya Sports Academy as allocated by the National Treasury, and still leave him with 21 million shillings in change. Yeah, talk about being lucky. All right, let's cross over to the Jubilee headquarters, where Kennedy Muraythi is standing by to give us the latest there. There are several aspirants there who are lodging their complaints. Of course, some of them saying that they were rigged out, some of them wanting the certificates. But before we get to Kennedy Muraythi, who is coming in just a bit, let's talk about a bit of education, a different kind of education. The use of art to spice up class time by teachers boosts cognitive, social, and emotional development in learners. Education reporter Sharon Baranga engaged learners who have been exposed to this style of learning from an early age at a school in Dubai.
Through the keyhole into a land that is unique in every sense. In 1865, Alice would have named it Wonderland. It is a magical place where animals can talk. You can shrink or add to your height. It only takes a special drink or food. It is a world of possibilities.
Tick, tock, tick.
This is a story based on Alice in Wonderland, a fairy tale that was recreated and played by pupils from Jumeirah College in Dubai.
I love acting. It's a big part of my life because it gets me up an hour and it works on my self-confidence.
Acting's way easier to show your emotions through acting in general.
According to David Sousa, a neuroscientist, certain brain areas respond only to music, while others are devoted to initiating and coordinating movement, from intense running to the delicate sway of the arms.
Tick, tock, tick.
Drama provokes specialized networks that focus on spoken language and stimulate emotions. Visual arts excite the internal visual processing system to recall reality or create fantasy with the same ease.
Together their interpretation of what they thought Alice in Wonderland was like, and then the delegates can then work on the tables to create a piece of art or write something for the students of the future to tell them what not to fear in the world. It's making sense of the senseless.
In cognitive growth during the brain's early years, neural connections are made at a rapid rate. Much of what young children do as play, for instance, singing, drawing and dancing, are natural forms of art. These activities engage all the senses and wire the brain for successful learning.
It teaches them to be creative, to work as part of a team, independence of learning as well. The arts are integral to the future generations. We're training students at the moment for jobs that aren't even invented, and they need to be really versatile and be able to adapt.
Researchers suggest that arts integration into the core curriculum causes both students and teachers to rethink how they view the arts, and in turn it generates conditions that are ideal for learning.
I never knew about the horse to be safe. Dark and safe.
For instance, learners tend to work more diligently and at the same time learn from each other. It is therefore recommended that children are exposed to the arts at an early age, and it shouldn't be optional. It took the team that translated Alice in Wonderland from the book to what you see approximately 3 months. Alice in Wonderland is a book that has the power to trigger imagination and creativity on anyone who comes across it. Here we can see a concept that was developed by children with the help of their teachers in forming their own Wonderland after they interacted with the book. Sharon Baranga, NTV in Dubai.
Thanks, Sharon. Now let's listen in to what's happening at the carnival, where the latest millionaire in town, Samuel Abisai, is speaking there.
Kitu lazima kuna somo hilo hapa. Hawa lazima tupaki tu. Kuna Dona na Bena. Basi tumeongea SportPesa nao pamoja. So lazima tunaweka kitu. Alafu place ya kwenda bado partner plan kwenda place bado sitamaliza.
Yangu ya mwisho, unajua huyo jamaa amesimama karibu na wewe, huyo ndio CEO wa SportPesa, na si imagine hata yeye amewahi pata hiyo 221 million. Labda ukimwangalia hivi unamuona aje?
Nisakana nisba lot. By the first time nilicheck yake sijui kwa Citizen akibonga jua ni kila cha SportPesa na nini. So kwa mtaani pia niko na mwangalia mchana inspire because mimi sitoki kwa ile family unajua. So nimsaidia nilikuwa na up to him juu amefanya mob tunacheki SportPesa sana isha UK wakwezi wa mtaani wanajengwa ball unajua sasa iko after goal pesa so nimse na mheshimu.
So utaendelea kubeta ama imeisha?
Sidhani kama nitaendelea lakini naona ndio fulani nifanye kitu kwa society. Naona inajimo kitu kwa project fulani itabenefit wasaidia. So nina bet na kusapendelea but sijaamua nataka kweli singine kwanza. Mimi mwenye hizo do alafu sasa kuna kitabu.
Safi, si hata utakuwa best yangu.
Friend requests zishamalizika. One of the question, make them short and sweet.
All right, congratulations once again. My name is Jamil Alibai. I come from Bamba Sports, Radio Africa. I come from the sporting sector, so not the news sector, but congratulations once again. SportPesa is a company that does a lot for the sporting sector in Kenya, making big sponsorship signings for the football team, rugby teams, the NSL, the KPL, whatever it is. For you being a fan of the game as well, first question is, who do you support in football?
I used to support FC, but Homeboys were promoted. When I come from Kakamega, so I can switch to Homeboys FC because Homeboys gonna some time. I said to them, grow up pamoja, exactly to the ball. I feel namona because in one I'm time.
Okay, and what about your international team? Which team would you want to go and watch out there?
International teams like EPL.
Yes.
I support Chelsea.
Okay, so you have a winner here as well, the table toppers. Last question, I mean, you've got a lot of money in your pocket now, 221 million. As you mentioned, he's your inspiration. What projects are you going to do in terms of sport for the game in Kenya? Because looking at Kenya, we have so much talent in the sporting sector. Is there anything that makes your heart want to change that?
Yes, I don't participate in sport per se, but I like watching sports and everything. But I have a big brother who is a coach for Kemu football team. So, and this dream since we were kids, Academy, Kakamega. So, I think the first thing, can support at least in Kakamega, we have a football academy.
All right, God bless you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Nasema hivi ule mse wa kwanza ulipigia simu ama ule mtu uliambiwa wa kwanza umeshinda 221 million alikuwa ni nani? Alafu the second question itenda labda kwa CEO pia kama atatusaidia. Tumekuwa na gabe nasema inataka 50% kutoka kwa gaming sites zote tuko nazo. Ita take effect kutoka sasa hivi ama 221 ni yake kabisa, hakuna kitu inakatwa. Thank you. Ya kwanza ilikuwa ule mse wa kwanza ulibreakia news kwamba umeshinda 221 million.
Kwanza ilikuwa my big sister, tunastay naye, so nilipokisha 16 nilimshow because tulikuwa tunaangalia last time alipata 16 alikuwa 36 million. So hiyo time umejua tukushua tuko ndani kabisa. So akaniambia mimi kwa bedroom ana pray. So ilikuwa then after upon my brothers now sisters now walikuwa very excited.
My question was about the tax.
Yeah, the tax, the 50%.
Okay, yeah, the 50% is supposed to take effect from January 2018, according to the finance bill. But this weekend, we are presenting to the finance committee our reasons why, of course, 50% cannot work. Remember, the 50% is on gross profit. It does not affect his winnings. For him, he's taking home the full amount, 221,300,000 and some 600 shillings. He's taking the full amount home because presently the law does not tax winnings at all. The proposed 50% also does not tax winnings at all, even if it was to come into effect. 50% is on gross profit. On the company, for example, SportPesa will pay 50% on gross profit. Then, after deducting our expenses, we pay again 30% corporate tax. And on top of that, we have the usual taxes of withholding tax and the pay-as-you-earns that we pay. So, of course, for us as a business, we were appealing to the parliamentarians because there's no business that in the history of the world that has ever been subjected to such taxes. There's no business that can survive such taxes. So we are hoping, as the President said, that the parliamentarians and the Treasury will be reasonable enough to listen to the appeals of the business so that we can survive and keep doing what we're doing. So hopefully after presentation to Parliament, we will see what passes and becomes law after Parliament closes for the elections. And then I wanted to say something because I was speaking to him in the car. And of course, he's being offered advice from all corners, and that will come. As SportPesa, we always leave him alone. He'll get all the financial advice that he needs. And even for me personally, I will make sure that he spends the money wisely. My one biggest piece of advice, and I'm very happy to hear that he said he already has a project back home that he wants to initiate in terms of a sporting academy. My biggest advice to him, the people of Kakamega, where he's come from, have to benefit from this winning. Because this jackpot, the mega jackpot, has been on, I think, since September last year. He's our first winner. He's the biggest winner in the history of Kenya, I think, and even Africa in terms of winning. So he must do something that benefits his local community in Kakamega. And I think we'll all hold him into account to make sure that he actually does that. So at the end of the day, he is the one of many. People have prayed for this, and he's the lucky one that got the money. Therefore, the people of Kakamega, his local town, must feel the effect of that winning. That is my first biggest piece of advice to him. I know he'll get a lot of advice anyway, but we will work with him as SportPesa and ensure that later on his worth is worth more than even the 200 million.
That's a SportPesa CEO offering advice to the latest millionaire in town, that's Samuel Abisai. Just